Oh, hey there. You caught me on my daily 3,000-mile walk. I've been doing these ever since I read this book, The Long Walk by Stephen King. And at this rate, I should reach terminal ketosis by the end of the video, so stay tuned. So yeah, I saw this in a bookstore, an overpriced bookstore, and ever on the hunt for another Stephen King novel, I picked it up and read the back cover. I cannot remember the last time a premise hooked me so hard. The Long Walk takes place in a dystopian future where every year 100 teenage boys sign up to partake in an endless walk across America's interstates. It's a prestigious event where the winner, the last boy standing, receives amazing prizes and eternal glory. They are not allowed to slow down past a certain speed or interfere with their fellow walkers. They're allotted 3 strikes each. One more violation after that. First, a little background on this book. As you know already, it was written by Stephen King. Who the hell is Richard Bachman? I'm kidding. Richard Bachman was Stephen King's pen name from 1977 to 1985. According to his author profile, Bachman previously served in the Coast Guard and spent his days running a dairy farm, writing novels at night, eventually passing away from cancer of the pseudonym, a rare form of schizonomia. Which is another way of saying he's a great big phony. Regarding The Long Walk, while many call Carrie Stephen King's first novel, it was technically his first novel published. The Long Walk was the first novel King wrote in 1966 as a freshman at the University of Maine, only released in 1979, 5 years after Carrie. And as someone who's given constructive criticism for authors' first novels before, how does The Long Walk hold up? It's really good. It's almost fascinating because to me this book is a shining example of an idea in genre fiction that is fundamental but not really talked about that much, and that is high concept. High concept describes stories that can be very succinctly summarized, often with a very intriguing and promising angle. Jaws can be summarized as giant shark attacks sleepy beach town, 3 men go after it. The Long Walk can be summarized as teenage boys go on a never-ending walk, the last one standing wins everything. What I love about this summary is that it's such a simple premise, some might even call it mundane, yet it takes something as commonplace as a very long walk, something I'm sure we've all endured at one point in our lives, and gives it the perfect menacing twist without going overboard. If you slow down for too long, you're shot dead like a dog in the street, and there is no end until 1 out of 100 walkers is left. It's truly that simple. It never grows beyond its scope. And yet, this premise is explored from a substantive number of angles in a manner that still remains perfectly balanced. Another thing I love about this premise is the character dynamic it introduces. Despite being competitors, the walkers are all also in this thing together, and most can help but just be friends. Amid the 100 participants, our main cast consists of about a dozen or so boys, with the lead protagonist being 16-year-old Ray Garrity. The nature of this setup allows Ray to kind of drift back and forth among the main cast and spend time with each individual character, each having their own distinct voices, mindsets, physical and mental states. Okay, I moved the walk indoors because literally everybody in the neighborhood decided to start mowing their lawns. But damn it, I'm gonna end it outside, I swear to God. Just when you think you might start growing weary, Ray shifts to another one of the main cast. And just when you think there might be a little too much dialogue, Ray breaks off from the group and gets lost in his own thoughts. I never felt bored, nor did I think the book was a slog. And otherwise, the scene descriptions and linguistic devices are very vivid and refreshing. I actually cracked a smile a few times just because a certain combination of words hit me in the right way. Character, dialogue, and tension are this book's biggest supports, and they have to drive what otherwise could be a very tedious and repetitive premise, and it's all done very well. The longer the boys walk, the more their defenses and masks erode away and their true characters come forward. Paranoia, psychosis, repressed memories, outbreaks of sexual perversion. It's like Lord of the Flies, except they're not flying, so I guess it's more like Lord of the Walks. I did have a few issues with the book. Firstly, and this is more a personal preference, the story takes place in a dystopian future. But apart from the presence of a paramilitary police force called the Squads, led by this mysterious man called the Major. Okay, I admit that part's kinda silly. We don't really get an idea of what this world's like or how it works. There's moments to fill in the blanks and assume, and I know some readers like that, but personally, I would have preferred if the author had just thrown a few more scraps in the reader's direction. Secondly, I'm not going to spoil the resolution, but it's really no surprise how it ends, and all things considered, it's very abrupt. The book could have benefited from one armor-piercing twist at the end, and they kinda do it with this one character, but it doesn't really lead to anything profound or impactful. Heck, it reminded me of another Stephen King series, The Dark Tower, where they build up this character named Mordred for like 4 or 5 installments, but then he dies in a 5-minute confrontation in the final book. Okay, that's a spoiler, I'm sorry. I remember being at the last 10 pages or so at the long walk, and my stomach was just in a knot, wondering how it was gonna end, and then it just ended. Well, a promise is a promise. But those things only slightly affected the experience for me. I still highly recommend The Long Walk, especially for aspiring writers looking for a prime example of a high-concept hook that takes full advantage of its premise. You'll also find great dialogue, great characterization, and ultimately, just a great story.
Warning! Warning 69! Warning! Warning 69! Second warning 69! Warning! Warning 69! Final warning 69!